And away we go.
Right, so, how's your day?
The day has been pretty decent, and more so quite recently in the last few hours of this recording.
Nice. Alright, so, tell us about your day. How has it been good in the last couple of hours during this or what you said?
Yes, so you know the project that we are working with Shadowminer on.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah, that little thing. What about it? What have you heard? What have you
Okay,
seen?
so a couple of users on the community Discord server have said, I think you already know about this, but there was at least two people in that server that said that it's dead, that it may not come back, and someone's like, yeah, real, like we've been waiting for so long, but it hasn't come. But we've been through this. We know what it's like. We've been working with, we've been working on this for 4 years, and we're still going strong. Given what Shadowminer said with his living situation, and his finances are starting to look pretty good for him, the return of Byte, at least its revival, is looking more visible than ever. Now, it's not going to happen instantly. We still have to give it a few months or maybe another year, but we know for sure that at least in the somewhat distant future, the revival of Byte is coming, guaranteed. I think you're on mute if you're talking because I can't.
Yeah, sorry, I was muted. I was saying, I think you're right. Pretty much, the Byte revival is definitely still gonna happen. It's definitely coming. It might not be now, it might not be later, but it's definitely still gonna happen. And I'm not gonna lie, I did not think it was 4 years. I personally thought it was like only 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, I was thinking it was close to 3 years, but looking back at the chat we had on Discord, I remember the message that started it all. I think it was Risk back when he was part of the team. He says, "We're working on it out, are you in or not?" And he was talking to Faithy, but now goes by Frankie.
Yeah, I'll be honest. How is she doing?
Well, she's doing pretty good. She has her own podcast going on, and she seems to enjoying it.
Does she still upload on there?
I think she still uploads, not as often as I do, because well, I have so many episodes to upload. But yeah, she does still upload content, mostly her podcast that she's working on, and yeah, she's still enjoying it, and I'm surprised it's still going good between her and Risk, because of course they have their differences. I will say that.
I didn't even know they still talked. Honestly, I really
Yeah,
didn't.
neither did I, but
Yeah,
but yeah, it's still going strong apparently.
okay. That's good to hear. That's good to hear, though. Glad she's doing well. Glad she's less stress. Yeah,
Yeah,
glad she's less stress, and for the most part, yeah, yeah. It just did not work, man. It's like well, 'cause I don't know. It's like especially, yeah, it just didn't work. Just didn't work. So I'm just glad, like something changed, and like I'm glad they're both doing well. Then once more, I didn't know they were still talking. I really did not. But hey, as long as things are good, that's fine.
yes, absolutely.
But yeah, it's like stopped stopped being on the project for the same reason too. It was just taking too long for him,
Yeah,
for his liking. And once again, yeah, I get that it's taken a long time. I get that it's taken a while. But ultimately speaking, it's yeah, we just don't have the finances to back up anything or do anything. And Jacob, yeah, his working situation is not good. I mean, he has a job now, but it's like I'm gonna be honest, it's probably not paying like as much as like that much money. It's paying only probably enough to pay the rent, but that's about it. Yeah, so it's like you really gotta just look at that and sympathize with that to a degree. Because like yeah, if you don't have the money to do anything, then bro, we can't do anything. I mean, we can have all the ideas, but it's like if we don't have the backing for any of this stuff, then nothing can get done. So yeah, it just requires a ton of patience. And you know what? If it never happens, then fair play. They're right. But we plan on making it happen by any means necessary. Obviously, Jacob just has to make the call on when he can do it and on if we can do it. And We're just gonna have to see where this goes from here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if there are some like temporary apps, apps we can use to make a whole app, then fine. But I would assume that we would just want to make a whole app like from the jump and not just like use a temporary application to make a specific app. So I would say yeah, then that costs a lot of money then. But ultimately speaking, it will get done. And obviously, if it doesn't get done, we'll let the people know. But as of right now, it's gonna get done. We just don't know when or where or how.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I get the people's frustration. I do. I do.
Me too.
Yeah, it's definitely been a couple years. But
Yes, it sure has been.
hey, ultimately it just requires a ton of patience, and it is what it is.
And it was what it was.
All right. But yeah, is there anything else in the news?
Climate activist Greta Thunberg to visit Gaza.
First off, it's been a while since we've heard that name.
Yep, it sure has been.
Second off, what is she doing, Gaza?
On Sunday, climate campaigner Greta Thunberg, along with several other prominent activists, plans to embark on a humanitarian voyage to Gaza to protest Israel's military actions and blockade. The
Oh, so
journey, coordinated by a coalition opposing the Gaza blockade, comes after Israel's imposed restrictions on May 2nd and follows an earlier attempt that was unsuccessful due to damage sustained by the ship. European Parliament member Rima Hassan stated the operation aims to condemn the blockade, genocide, and Israel's impunity while raising global awareness.
okay, so is she with Israel or
Who?
against?
Greta Thunberg.
Yep.
I feel she's certainly against Israel.
Well, she's Jew. I'm kidding. I don't really know if she's Jewish or not. But still, it's like yeah, I feel yeah. Like when you read that, I felt it seemed like she was more against Israel than with Israel. It seems like she was like just going hard for Gaza. And all I'm gonna say is this, man, it has been a while since we've heard that name, Greta Thunberg. Um,
Yeah, it has been.
last time we really heard that name was when she was beefing with Andrew Tate.
Oh yes, the Tate brothers. That's something.
The top G and the talisman. I don't know what talisman means, but still, what is that? What is that supposed to mean? The top G and the talisman. But
Gene
yeah,
the
it's like,
Talisman. Yeah.
huh?
I was concurring what you just said.
Yeah, pretty much. Now they're facing 21 charges of sex trafficking. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Do they get a charge like every month?
I don't think the reports say anything about the duration of the charges. They're just saying they're being charged for these actions by evidence that came forward by number of victims.
It seems like something is in the news about them like almost like every 1 or 2 months. I'm gonna be honest. Like whether it's true or not is to be determined. But it seems like there's always something in the news regarding them about that specific action, and with sex trafficking and whatnot. Oh, nice, a heist comedy. Anyways, but yeah, it's just I don't know. It's just like yeah, the Tate brothers, man. It's like they cannot catch a break.
No, they can't.
They really can't catch a break, can they?
No, they can't.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for them. It's
But that's
it's
just how it goes.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, if you do something in the past, it's gonna bite you back in the future. You're definitely gonna pay for it in the future. Whether if it's true or not is to be determined. But yeah, if you do something in the past, it's gonna bite you back in the future. It's gonna potentially bite you back in the future if you're guilty, of course. But yeah, I believe they could have done literally anything else. They could have done literally anything else. Oh wait, a stab-proof jacket. Huh. Nice. Nice. Anyways, yeah, it's like, they literally could have done anything else to make money, but no, they decided to, like, do the whole campsite thing, which is essentially on them. But hey, It is what it is.
And it was what it was.
Exactly. So, actually, let me check the Discord to see if there's anything else.
I sent like 4 videos from Reels.
Oh yeah, you did. Tell us about those videos, Jamin.
The videos. Where do we begin?
Where do we begin?
The Scotsman in Pakistan. Something about North Korea's election. The Earth having a heartbeat. Or another video which I'm not sure what it was, but I think something has to do with renewable fuel sources.
The Earth having a heartbeat.
Okay. So
Huh.
satellite data reveals that our Earth has a heartbeat.
Oh my goodness. It's a baby. We need to take care of this Earth right now. We need to stop polluting. We need to stop hurting this Earth. Because we live on the. I can imagine someone saying it like that specifically.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, mostly.
It's like, I can imagine just a climate and Earth activist saying, "It's a baby! My goodness! We need to stop hurting this Earth!" And then they just kiss the ground. I don't know. But
Oh yes, the cherry on top, kissing the ground, because we respect the planet Earth that they respect.
now look, if I was gonna kiss the ground, man, I'd have to spray that part, man. It's like, you know how many feet have been on that ground? You know how many dogs have probably pooped and peed on that ground?
Tons.
Yeah, tons. But yeah, it's like, yeah, it's look, well, I know the Earth is. I would have no idea if the Earth has a heartbeat. That's all I'm gonna say. For me, that's not enough. I know we should take care of the Earth. I know we should make sure the Earth does not die. Okay, by me saying that, that means, the Earth. Okay, yeah, no, there's life on the Earth, and the Earth has life, and the Earth probably in of itself has life. But you know, but yeah, we should definitely make sure the Earth does not die entirely. But let's be honest, we're never going to be able to do that because most people most people litter, most people pollute the Earth, and yeah, it's like we're never really going to truly be able to do that. But I'm pretty sure some lowly Earth activist will look at this video and say and try to tell people to stop doing what they're doing. But who knows what's going to happen? They started shouting, "Colonize Pakistan." Huh? Why do you think that is?
That's a good question. And no matter how hard I try to look to find the answer, I still don't know for sure why people wants to be colonized again. But if Risk was here right now, he would be very pleased to hear that.
He'd be very pleased to hear that. He
Oh yes,
probably,
absolutely.
he probably would. And someone's playing that bagpipes in the background. That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
North Korea's new election.
They've always had elections, but there's always been one candidate.
You know what? I'm gonna run for wait. What do you call president in North Korea? The prime minister.
The supreme leader.
Well, I'm running for supreme leader in North Korea. I can't be. For one, not a citizen, and two, I'm pretty sure. Actually, what are the requirements for running for supreme leader in North Korea? The requirements for becoming supreme leader are not clearly defined in written law. The position is de facto within the Kim family. It's passed down within the Kim family. So you're telling me
Yes.
there's no one else who was ever supreme leader outside of the Kim family? Wow, just wow. So like, there's no written down laws at all on like the requirements of becoming the supreme leader. It's been one family the entire time.
Yes, it's kind of like a monarch, but they don't call it a monarch because, well, different countries have different terminologies for what they call things. Essentially, from most of North Korea's existence, whoever was supreme leader of North Korea, it comes down to generations of mostly the same family.
Pretty much any. So you're telling me anyone can since there are no like requirements, anyone can just become supreme leader or at least attempt to.
Well, people can attempt to become supreme leader, but chances of even becoming one are very,
Very
very unlikely.
yeah. Uh, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna move all the way to North Korea to try to attempt to get later. Although, Kim would be scared of me. I'm joking. I'm joking. There's nothing to be scared of. But yeah, it's like, okay, so like, okay. So no one ever attempted to become supreme. Actually, no, that's probably not true. But the majority of it has been like the Kim family in control of that supreme leader position. But yeah, it's like, dang, I didn't even. Usually there's requirements, but I guess since it's been ran by one family the entire time, yeah, I guess there's no requirements. Matter of fact, how old is Kim Jong Un? Yeah, first, I think that's a decent wife. Sorry, I just saw it. Yeah. Oh wait, he's not even that old. He's 41. So how long has he been a supreme leader for then? Since his
I
30s?
think at least he's been supreme leader for at least a decade.
A decade.
At least a decade, yeah.
So he started when he was like he's 41. So 31, I
Maybe
assume.
late 20s, early 30s, perhaps.
Yeah, late 20s, early 30s. It had to have been one of the two. Because this man is not that old. This is his daughter. Her name is Kim Ju. Uh, A. Yeah, yeah. Huh. Okay. Wow. I, 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 I mean, other than the Asian genetics, I expected him to be a little bit older, but he's not that old at all. And his wife Ri Sol-ju is the current First Lady of North Korea as the wife of Supreme Leader Kim Jong-un. Okay, okay, so pretty much it was ran by one family for centuries. I would presume centuries, decades.
Mostly decades.
Yeah, for decades. But I do wonder, before his family, who was the Supreme Leader? Before before the Uns took over.
Kim family.
The Kim, okay, yeah, I'm sorry, I thought Un was like specifically their last name.
In South Korea, last name first, then it's the first name.
Wait, Kim is their last name?
Yeah,
How does that make any sense? I thought Kim was his first name.
well, apparently not.
So his first name is Un, or it's Jong.
Possibly.
But,
I know, Kim is certainly the last name for sure.
okay, so Jong Kim Un, or Un Kim
No,
Jong.
maybe Un Kim Jong or Jong Un Kim.
See, now, I did not know they started with their last names first. Okay.
It's not just South Korea. This happens all over East Asia. Japan does it, and of course China, of course.
I didn't know that. That's something new. Okay.
The more you know.
I mean, I don't not respect it. I mean, that's if you want to do that, that's fine. It's like it's nothing bad. I mean, it's nothing bad. Hey, if that's how you want to start it, man, then fine. But that's the first time I've heard of that. Okay, okay, all right. Well, okay. Hey, it is.
And it was what it was.
Yeah, but okay. Last video. What do we get? What's this? First video that it's the a new era of fuel by.
A new era of fuel called Estila.
Okay, what's that specifically about?
So in short, they're making fuel by taking carbon dioxide out of the air and then turning it into liquid of some sort.
Understood, understood. And I don't really have much of an opinion about that. So let's move. I sent in two things actually. Well, for one, they're remaking King of the Hill, or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're remaking King of the Hill, and I'm like,
brilliant.
yeah, cool. I mean, I don't see a reason. You know, other shows, yeah, I see a reason why you shouldn't bring it back. You know, dead and buried. It had its time. King of the Hill, I don't see a reason why you can't bring it back. I mean, it's probably going to thrive for a couple of seasons, and then that's about it. And then that's the show. But in other news, the Muslims in the UK are calling for a ban of people eating in public during Ramadan daylight hours. They argue that seeing people eating food increases their temptation. What's your message to them? Well, here's my message. I'm not even in the UK, but I will say this, man. If you can't willingly avoid just watching people eat, that's your problem. I mean, I'll be honest. It's like I'm not gonna lie, bro. It's like you need to use sheer force. You need to use willpower to like just avoid it. It's like I mean, I get that's part of your belief, and like during Ramadan. Still, it's like, bro, come on, man. It's like just because you see people eating doesn't mean that you need to look at them eating. Just ignore them. But yeah, this also just continues to prove that Islam is truly not compatible with the UK or the West in general. Because it's like I don't know. It's like if you're in the UK and that's what you're complaining about, and someone used like a bacon burger. Now that's hilarious. That's hilarious because it's like they don't eat pork, or it's like a ham bacon. I think that's bacon, a bacon burger too. Anyways, yeah, it's like yeah. I'm just gonna say this, man. It's like if you can't like handle just seeing people eat in public, then man, you just gotta have to stay in your own country. Because well, ultimately that's not for the people who do not subscribe to Islam or subscribe to Ramadan, that's not their problem. That's your problem. Just avert your eyes. That's all you need to do. That's all you need to do. Just revert your eyes. It's gonna be hard because you're hungry, but still. But yeah, that's all I have to say about that.
Fair enough.
Uh, no insults. I think they're false, but no insults. I'm sorry, I just have to say that. But anyways, yeah, it's like yeah. But this is about what they do during Ramadan. So yeah, just avert your eyes. That's all you have to do. And if you have to plug your nose too to not get the aroma in your nose also, then I say do that as well. But yeah, is there anything else in the news?
Colorado's governor vetoes landmark ban on rent-setting algorithms.
Rent setting algorithms? Is that what you said?
Yes, yes. Governor Jared Polis vetoed House Bill 1004 on May 30th, 2025, which would have banned rent-setting algorithms in Colorado targeting RealPages software. The veto followed a December 2024 Biden administration report and ongoing lawsuits accusing RealPage of illegal price-fixing agreements with landlords. Polis acknowledged the bill's intent, but expressed concerns about prohibiting algorithmic pricing software that provides data to efficiently manage rental markets without collusion. The Biden report found algorithms increase rent by about $70 monthly, or $1,600 annually for Denver renters. While Polis noted any collusive behavior is illegal under state law, the veto allows continued use of such software while Polis supports strengthening antitrust enforcement and is open to future legislation distinguishing collusive from non-collusive uses.
Very, very interesting. Do you have any initial thoughts on that?
I don't have any strong opinions or thoughts regarding like rent prices, or at least the prices of getting a home to begin with. But I will say this: I've seen a video on Instagram, no, or maybe it was TikTok. Well, either way, I saw a video, and I think it was a bit from a show, an animated show. Not sure if it's a show, but I know it's animated. There was this bit where men in business suits were talking about getting a house from the man that lived in the house. And they were saying that something along the lines of, we don't buy these homes to live in, we buy them in bulk, and trying to manipulate demand and supply so we can charge prices however we see please to any homeowners because we have most of the houses. Yeah, it's something along those lines that they were giving the message. Like, most of these homes, I think it comes down to the fact that and this is a stretch. People will have a lot to say about this, but there have been many people have said that if homes are owned by individual people, there will certainly be under ownership by either banks or a collection of businesses slash organizations. And if people want to buy homes that are under such ownership by such entities, those people would have to pay a higher price than they would originally because there aren't enough, quote, free homes on the market available to them, where there isn't current existing ownership of these homes. So that's all I have to say about homes and rent prices, etc. It's most now, of course, even if it's not manipulated or manufactured or established, price inflation and price increases in essential necessities is an absolute concern, is certainly a problem going forward. But of course, it's only made worse if there's large entities having ownership of these said essential necessities if they don't use them as often as everyday people would.
That's true. That is true. And yeah, I don't really have any strong opinions about that. I think you pretty much said what needed to be said. Situation. But yeah, is there anything else in the news?
Yes, there is. Influencer Emily Kisser files lawsuit to keep son Trig's death details private.
To keep her son's details private?
Death details.
Death details. Gotcha. Okay. Why?
On May 27th, Emily Kisser, known for her presence on TikTok, initiated legal action in Maricopa County to prevent the release of records related to the death of her three-year-old son, Trig, in Chandler, Arizona. The lawsuit follows Trig's accidental drowning on May 12th at their home, leading to his death 6 days later after being found unconscious in the backyard pool. Over 100 requests for public records related to Trig's death have been submitted to both Chandler's municipal officers and the Maricopa County medical examiner, causing additional distress to the family. Maricopa County's medical examiner worked with Kisser's family to seal the records while court proceedings decide on permanent confidentiality amid concerns about privacy and graphic content. The lawsuit highlights tensions between Arizona's public records law and family privacy rights, as Kisser seeks to grieve privately while facing intense public and media scrutiny.
Well, I will say this. I mean, if a person wants to keep their son's death details private, then I don't see why they shouldn't. I mean, ultimately, I mean, I would say that's a good thing that she would want to keep that private. It would be more suspicious if she was parading her son's death like it was, for clout or for anything like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I think it makes more sense that she would want this information to be kept below profile.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame her. Shoot, I mean, as long as she respects her dead, deceased son, then I'd say that there's nothing wrong with it. Even if you have to pay for it, there's nothing wrong with it.
Yes, everyone should grieve in private, no matter how much of a public figure they are.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that is true. But yeah, is there anything else in the news?
Reform UK, led by Nigel Farage, started accepting cryptocurrency donations in May 2025, making it the first European party to do so. Following his commitment to enact crypto-supported reforms, Farage plans to implement a 10% capital gains tax on digital assets and create a government-backed Bitcoin fund with the Bank of England. Farage unveiled his proposals during a cryptocurrency event in Las Vegas. stressing the need to prevent banks from cutting off crypto customers and declaring his intention to spearhead a crypto-focused transformation. Research shows about 12% of UK adults have owned crypto assets, while Chancellor Rachel Reeves recently proposed regulations to make the UK a global crypto leader. Reform UK's acceptance of crypto donations could increase innovation and support, but raises concerns over transparency and potential misuse in political funding.
Well, I will say this, crypto is definitely making a huge impact nowadays.
Yes, and whether people like it or not, cryptocurrency is the way to go in the next few years when it comes to monetization in general.
Yeah, that is true. That is 100% true. 100% true. Crypto is the future, whether if you like it or not. And if you don't like it, find a way to get out of it. Although I don't think there's ever going to be a way out of it. But if you can somehow minimize your living situation to be far from living and far from like, spending money and mainly just growing stuff, that'd be great. That would be great. I mean, for you,
Yeah,
but if you're going to live in a modern day society, or if you're going to take from a modern day society, you have to get with the times. Just like I have to, just like I have to, wait, hold on, you are Peter? Hold on, I gotta read that later. Anyways, yeah, if you can somehow minimize it, then you're all good. But if you can't, then man, you're just gonna have to get with the times. Yeah, just like I kind of have to get with the times in terms of the Omni card. Even if I don't like it, I still live here, so I kind of have to up, I do have to get with the times. Things are only getting more and more expensive here, so I would like to get out of here as soon as possible.
absolutely.
Yeah, because it's like, yeah, man, life would be so simple if all you can do is just dream of doing something. If you can just dream of doing something and then just do it, man. Say, get out of New York. It's getting too expensive out here. Hopefully, I can get out of New York by the time, like everything gets expensive. Because ultimately speaking, with the income I have, it will not in the future. Probably won't be enough. So yeah, just got to get out of here as soon as possible. Or
Absolutely.
the city part at least. I would like property. So either in New York or outside of New York. Anywhere that is just that. But yeah, anything else in the news?
China launches Tianwen-2 to sample asteroid Kama-Alui
Okay, let's hear more about that.
on May 29th, 2025. China deployed its Tianwen-2 spacecraft to spacecraft to no Tianwen-2 spacecraft aboard a Long March 3B rocket, launching it into space to gather samples from an asteroid. The mission targets near-Earth asteroid 469219 Kamo-Oaliwa for sample collection and will later study the main belt comet 1P/Pan STIRRS, reflecting China's expanding planetary exploration efforts. Tianwen-2 carries instruments including a radar, magnetometer, and ejector analyzer to map the asteroid's environment, and aims to orbit Kamaolawea. No, to, aims to orbit Kamaoaliwa for about a year, assessing landing sites. The asteroid measures roughly 40 to 58 meters, possibly being lunar debris, and a scientist said this mission offers a chance to study these objects in detail that will revolutionize our understanding. After delivering samples to Earth by 2027, Tianwen-2 will continue to the comet until about 2035, and results may improve understanding of solar system formation and planetary defense.
I'll say this personally. I don't even know if they even found an asteroid. I'd need to see a whole. I would need to see a video of it. But they probably, if they did find something, they probably thought it was an asteroid. I'll be honest. When it comes to this type of stuff, when it comes to this type of stuff, when it comes to like them saying and claiming that they found this type of stuff, I feel like when it comes to this stuff, I take such an I don't want to say atheistic. I really don't want to say it because like atheistic is like a belief that there is no God. I like when it comes to them saying this stuff, I just need to see some. I just need to see something because like I don't know if they're making the claim. Like shoot, I mean but I'm not gonna say that it doesn't exist. I'm pretty sure it does exist. It's just that I don't know. I just need to see something about it. But yeah, it's like regardless, I will say this: if they did find something, if they did find an asteroid, then that's great. I mean, I would hope that they would dissect it and study it and see what it's all about. But if they didn't and they're lying, then well, who cares? That's not really going to affect me in any way, shape, or form. Who cares? So yeah, let's see what they get from this research in general, and let's see if something comes of it. Who knows? They might even find something in this asteroid that has an unknown cure to a specific disease that we face. Who knows? But I don't think that's how asteroids work. But if it is how asteroids work, that'd be great. But hey, it is what it is.
It was what it was.
But yeah, is there anything else in the news?
Thousands rally in Serbia's capital demanding snap elections after months of protest.
Months of protest, huh?
Yes.
So you telling me they had all this time to protest? All right, let's hear more.
Thousands of people rallied on May 30th, 2025 in Belgrade, Serbia's capital, demanding early elections after months of protests. The protests were sparked by the November 1st, 2024 collapse of a concrete roof structure at a train station in Novi Sad, which resulted in 16 fatalities. University students, key organizers of the protests, demand accountability for the crash and enforcement of the rule of law amid allegations of government corruption. The students loudly marched past the prosecutor's offices towards the government building, holding a large banner calling for elections, while legal charges have been brought against more than a dozen individuals. The protests have challenged President Alexander Vučić's populist rule, who suggested early elections may be held but gave no date, while skepticism remains on uncovering corruption.
So pretty much they got what they want, but without getting what they want. They said earlier elections may be held, but they did not give a specific date.
Yeah, they said something, but they haven't said how will they do it and when they'll act on it.
Yeah, because that can easily be an empty statement. Like, oh yeah, we'll hold the election. And be like, well, we just said that so they can calm down.
Yeah, I can't stress enough how many people would do that or say something like that.
That's true. That is extremely true. And I will say, man, like early elections need to be held and shoot, man. I don't necessarily blame them. And things are falling apart. Things are not going well. Things are being broken. And things are not holding up. And it's all the president's fault because that's his responsibility. He should make sure that the places in his cities, the place in his country, is upheld to not perfection, but at least upheld to the point where people can travel and not get hurt potentially. But yeah, I would say they're college students, so I guess in a way they do kind of have time. Well, kind of. Probably after all the studying, sure. So they got what they want without getting what they want. They got an answer, but they didn't get a date.
Well, it's more like they got the answer, but there isn't much action that led towards the answer.
The president probably just wanted them to calm down, be like, all right, that should calm them down for a bit. So they're probably gonna.
They will bring this up again.
They will.
He will have to do something.
Yeah, they will. They definitely will. But hey, Good luck to those protesters. Let's see how they do. Let's see what they do from here. And if they do nothing from here, then all of their screaming and shouting and would pretty much be all for nothing. All for nothing. You would have wasted months of your life, or how long have they been doing this protest for? Like months, right?
For months, yes. Ever since November 1st, 2024, the roof structure of a train station in Novi Sad collapsed and injured roughly 16 people.
So yeah, you would have wasted months of your life doing a protest with no action involved. So do something about this now. Get a specific date from this president.
Yes, and
Yeah.
who knows? Maybe if there's anything to have learned from Canada's legislative election, you know, the one where Mark Carney had won when he announced the election after being elected as Liberal leader, he was certain he was going to win it because, well, there was fears of Donald Trump wanting to make Canada the 50th. Likewise, if Vucic is scared about the impact of whatever the protesters are bringing forward to the Serbian government, even if there are people that are mad at Vucic, he should still go ahead with the election anyway. Because at least he did the honourable thing. And who knows? Maybe there'll be just enough people in Serbia that still vote him to be their president for a couple more years. Despite the fact that the protests are causing such a stir and a negative press against the Serbian government. I'm not defending the government, I'm just saying that even if there is negative press regarding a leader and his government, you never know what an election could do for the next few years for a country if people have a perspective, an understanding of what they think they want to see in their nations.
Yeah, that is true. That is very true. So yeah, he may still have a lot of supporters. So just do it. Might as well. Couldn't hurt. Well, yeah, no, couldn't hurt. Yeah, so you might as well just do it, or at least do something. But yeah, it's like for the most part, yeah, that's all you can do. Like you really can't do anything from here on out. Just get it over with. If you lose, if you win, you win. If you lose, you lose. Who knows? It might not even be that many people against you. But it is what it is.
It was what it was.
Exactly. But yeah, is there anything else in the news?
Home sellers now outnumber buyers by 500,000.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
Redfin reported in April 2025 that nearly 500,000 more home sellers than buyers exist in the United States, marking the largest gap since 2013. This imbalance stems from the rising mortgage rates near 7%, economic uncertainty, affordability changes, and a market shift favoring buyers after pandemic-driven demand. Real estate agents like Karen Pohl observed homes stay longer on the market and sellers offering price cuts, although many sellers still price ambitiously. Redfin's head economist Chen Zhao forecast a 1% price decline by late 2025, citing the sellers to buy ratio as a price growth predictor with a 3 to 6 month lag.
Do you have any initial thoughts on that?
Great. If home prices are going down, then there's more chances of people getting a home for themselves.
Yeah, that's true.
And no longer they'll live with their parents for the rest of their lives.
That's also true. Yeah, that is also true. I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't want to live with their parents for the rest of their lives. Uh, I have a different perspective. I'd probably take care of my parents.
Fair enough. I respect that.
Yeah, I don't know. Things are expensive. Plus, I personally don't mind it. I personally don't mind it. So, but yeah, for other people, some people don't want to live with their parents or take care of their parents. And, yeah, it is what it is.
And it was what it was.
That's true. Vince McMahon's new media company will be called 14th and I. it will produce television. The guy who has so many things against him. The sex scandals, all of that. Okay. It'd be interesting to see it would be interesting, but let's see what happens from there. But yeah, is there anything else in the news?
Indeed, there is. OPEC Plus to boost oil output for third consecutive month.
Interesting. Is there anything more?
On May 31st, 2025, OPEC Plus held a video conference and decided to increase crude production by 411,000 barrels daily in July, marking the third straight monthly rise. This decision followed earlier output hike plans amid falling oil prices, global trade tensions, and disagreement among members like Kazakhstan on production cuts. The increased supply reversed years of production restraint, pushing prices to a four-year low near $60 per barrel, despite forecasts of moderate demand growth in 2025. A Reuters poll of 40 experts in May indicates that the average price of Brent crude for 2025 is expected to be $66.98 per barrel, which is lower than the $68.98 forecast made in April, as concerns rise over increased OPEC Plus supply and ongoing trade uncertainties.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. I have no initial thoughts on that. I mean, yeah, I can't really think of anything. Anything, can you?
No, it's just whatever.
Yeah.
Oil is part of everyone's lives, even though there are protesters that we should stop using oil. However, people are still going to drill it up anyway.
That's true. So, yeah, not really much to say on that. Really isn't much, if I'm being honest. But in other news, some dude getting misgendered at Disney World, who goes by Lily Tino, and they accidentally got misgendered by someone, quote unquote, even though it's clearly a dude. But yeah, it's like yeah, they got mad and they wanted a refund and they didn't want to eat their meal anymore because they were so upset about getting quote unquote misgendered. And yeah, to that I say, I just have nothing to say about that actually. Just grow a pair. And for one, if you're a dude, man, why are you wearing pink Disney ears? Actually, no. Why are you as an adult wearing pink Disney ears? You know what? Never mind the gender. You're you're a whole adult going to Disney World wearing pink Disney ears, and on top of that, you're a dude wearing girls' clothing, women's clothing. And to that I say, just to the adult part, man, come on, bro. Don't you have anything else to do? But yeah, that's all I gotta say about that. Awesome. I'm gonna read. But yeah, is there anything else in the news?
India's monsoon floods kill at least 22 people in the country's northeast.
Huh, okay. Let's hear more about that.
Heavy monsoon downpours in Assam, India, caused landslides and flooding, resulting in the deaths of at least 5 people by Saturday. Non-stop rains over several days caused urban flooding and swollen rivers, leading authorities to issue a red alert for 12 districts. Officials in Assam reported several floodings in Guwahati, prompting hundreds of families to leave their homes as emergency response teams were dispatched. Chief Minister Hemanta Biswa Sama stated that, that the authorities have been closely monitoring the developing situation over the past 3 days and have sent rice as part of the food relief efforts. Early monsoon arrival and increased rain intensity suggest shifting weather patterns amid warming South Asia, though scientists remain uncertain on impacts.
Well, I'm just gonna hope that everyone is safe and sound, and well, I'm gonna hope that no one got hurt. I'm gonna hope that everyone is safe and sound. is well, and that's all you can do is just pray and hope that everyone is not hurt and no one has deceased in the process. And yeah, that's all I gotta say about that. Do you have anything to say?
I'd say the same. I hope everyone is safe and everyone can continue to live their lives as they were before the flood even happened.
Yeah, same here. But yeah, is there anything else?
Opal Suchata, I don't know how to describe it, but Opal Suchata Chuangsuri from Thailand crowned Miss World 2025 on May 31st, 2025 in Hyderabad, India. Opal Suchata Chuangsuri from Thailand was crowned the winner of the 72nd edition of the Miss World competition. The event featured 108 contestants vying for the crown in Hyderabad, a city in southern India, continuing India's role as host from last year. Kristina Piszczykova of the Czech Republic passed the crown to Chuangsuri, Chuang, Chuangsuri, while the runner-up position was claimed by Ethiopian contestant Taset Deriji Adamasu. The
Okay.
72nd Miss World competition was presented by the reigning Miss World from 2016, Stephanie Delvey, alongside Indian host Sachin Kumbar, with contestant Nandini Gupta from India advancing to the top 20. Chuangsuri's victory marks Thailand's win in a competition long dominated by India, which has produced 6 Miss World winners since 1966.
Well, I'm going to say congratulations to all of those young women. I'm pretty sure they worked very hard to get to where they are today, and obviously may their futures be extremely bright, and may whoever didn't win, and may their futures not be over from here. May they not peak in life, and may they thrive in their whatever careers they pursue, whether it's modeling, acting, dancing, singing, whatever they do or whatever they've done, or whatever careers they thrive in. Because ultimately speaking, yeah, this isn't the end. I'm pretty sure there were all a bunch of beautiful young women in that competition who worked hard, who looked great, who wore their best dresses, who wore their best outfits in general. And ultimately speaking, it's just a great thing, a beautiful thing. Yeah. Uh, I'll be honest. I'm surprised that the one thing I'm surprised is that competitions like that even still exist considering the times we live in. Beauty is subjective, or something like that. But yeah, congratulations to all those young women, and congratulations to the winner especially, who won that competition, fair and
Yes,
square. So, and may she may she thrive from here, and may her future be filled with many blessings. Same with the other young women who competed in this competition as well.
indeed.
But yeah, it's like yeah. Is there anything else in the news?
I think that's us.
All right, peace.
Peace.